Hello everyone, welcome to Python Inspired. In this video we are going to see what are the strings and how to do basic functions on strings. So first of all, let me define strings. So you can define strings as a group of characters. So let's suppose I say this a equals to, so there is one thing. If you write characters mean, let's say I write hello world. So hello world has, so H is a character, E is a character, L is a character. Each one of them is a character. This blank space is also a character. And when these all characters are combined together, this becomes a string. So let's try, if I try to run that, it will give me an error, right? Because strings in Python cannot be stored, cannot be created without this commas. So we have to use inverted commas, quotation marks, so you can say. Now if I run it, it will be stored. Okay, so these inverted commas or quotation marks are very important. Similarly, you can also use b equals to, double inverted commas can also be used, and we can say welcome to computing, right? So this is also true. Double inverted commas can also be used and single inverted commas can also be used, but they have to be used. Without them, we cannot create a string. So this was our first point. And secondly, if you just write the type of, let's say, a, so it will return your string. Str means string. So if you have to check what type is it, or how to check a string, the type is string. So if the answer is str, it is representing that you have a string. Okay, so there is, you should know this, that if you want to add something, the type has to be same. For example, I cannot add an integer to a string. Similarly, if I write x equals to a plus 1, if I write this, so it will give me an error, and error is saying must be a string, not int. Okay, so string can be added to a string, and this integer can be added to integer only, it cannot be. So if you want to perform this, like if you want to write 1 after this, what you have to do is x equals to a plus str string of 1. So first you have to convert the 1 into string, and then you have to store it. So if you just print x, so you will see that we get hello world with a 1 attached here. Okay, so this is the way you do it. So next thing is, that's very important, is indexing into a string. How to access the individual elements. For example, what is meant by indexing is that, let's say I print a. Okay, so this is hello world. So let's suppose I want this o extracted from this string, this whole string. I want only this o to be extracted from the whole of the string. So what I can do is, you have to remember that a, so remember these square brackets, and if I write 0, this is actually 0 index, so it is giving me h. So the first element of a string can be accessed by 0 index. So 0 index represents first element of the string. So h character has been returned. If I write 3, so you see I get L, 0 1 2 3. So this is how the counting goes. And if I write like 10, and so this is the last word is 10, so D. And if I write 11, you're going to see an error because that is out of range. The index is out of range because the length was actually equal to till 10. The indices were till 10. Okay, another thing is that if you want to find the length of a string, so length of a, len, you can use a function len, length of a is 11. So Why is the length 11? If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the space is also counted. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Space is also counted. But the index is the 11th. If you write a of 11, it will not give any result. It was giving out of range. So this is because the first index was 0. So this element, the h is represented by 0 and rest of them 0, 1, 2, 3 like this. This is called indexing into a string. Indexing means you have to, if you have to select some element, some character from a group of characters or from a string, you can use indexing, and for that you have to use square brackets. Similarly, there is also a way you can also use a of -1. If I write negative index, so let's see, so you get d. A of -1 is d. There is also a way of negative indexing. So -1 index represents d. If you are looking for positive indexes, then h is 0 and the counting goes on 1, 2, 3 and so on. If you are saying, if you want to have negative indices, so -1 is this. The last one is -1. And if you write -2, this is second last one, you will see L. World L of the world comes here. So this is second last. Similarly, this is -3, -4 and -5, and similarly it goes on, right? So this is how you have indices of a string and how you index into a string. This is what we have studied so far, and last thing for this lecture is that strings are immutable. So there is a word immutable. What immutable means is that we know, let's say B, this was B, welcome to computing, right? So if I want to change, let's say the first W, if I write B of 0 is equal to, like I'm accessing this W, so B of 0 will give us this W, and if I want to say change this B of 0 to, let's say G, okay, so it is giving us error because the string is immutable. Immutable means once defined it cannot be changed. If B has been defined as welcome to computing, so individual elements or any character cannot be changed like this. We cannot assign a new value. I wanted to assign G to this instead of this W, but I am unable because string does not support item assignment. So we say it is immutable. The data type cannot be changed once assigned. So this is immutability of a string. So this is all for this lecture, and in the next video we will see more about the strings. See you.